Okay, so we have a big breaking news coming out. Please share this video. Today is March 19, 2025, and welcome to the Real GS News channel. Guys, before I start, give this video a big thumbs up, and once again, thank you so much for your support. US President gives Iran another warning. That time is running out. Alright, so he just put out this message today. Let me just read this part really quick. In a recent statement, U.S. President Donald has escalated his rhetoric regarding Persia's nuclear ambition, declaring that the world is in the final moments to prevent the nation from acquiring nuclear weapons. These remarks, made in early March 2025, have reignited debates over U.S. foreign policy and the looming threat of a nuclear-armed Persia. Once again, Donald issued another warning. Time is running out. Persia, time is running out. I believe that all those regions there, you got Turkey, Egypt, you got all these regions. Again, these regions are mentioned in Bible prophecy, end times. All right, even in the Old Testament, Egypt and all those territories, and the Babylonians, which again is Persia, Iran, again they are mentioned in the Old Testament and even in the New Testament. All right, so we're gonna see what's going on here, guys. Once again, Donald has issued another warning to Persia. Time is running out. For those of you that want to send us letters, prayer request, you send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the description box. Thank you so much for your support. Alright, so I did post 2 videos today. Many of you are not aware that I'm posting videos in the afternoon. But the link will be in the comments box. Donald had a very important phone call with Zelensky. Alright, so we got a lot of information coming out, guys. Things are not looking good. It's like these phone calls are like curse. Because, again, once they agree, ending the firing missiles and stuff like that, once they hang up the phone, they start firing again. It's like this ceasefire is no good. These remarks, made in early March 2025, have reignited debates over U.S. foreign policy and the looming threat of a nuclear-armed Persia. On March the 7th, 2025, Donald hinted a significant developments concerning Persia, Iran, stating there will be some interesting days ahead. That's all I can tell you. We are down to the final stroke with Iran, according to a report by the news. This cryptic message was followed by a more explicit warning, where he emphasized that the international community cannot allow Persia to achieve nuclear capability. We are at the final moments. We can't allow them to have nuclear, Donald reiterated, as noted in the same outlet on March 19, 2025. These statements suggest a sense of urgency and a potential shift in strategy as tensions with Persia continue to simmer. Donald's really serious about this here. Donald's really serious, guys. Look, it's very important that people get right with Jesus Christ. I do believe that the rapture is imminent. I do believe Jesus Christ is coming soon. And we are definitely in that time phrase of seeing things hitting the fan. The New York Times provided additional context, reporting on March 17, 2025, that Donald has renewed his maximum pressure campaign against Persia. The article highlighted his assertion that he left instruction to obliterate Persia in the event of an attempt against him. underscoring his hardline stance. So that was the first warning message. Donald said, if something happens to me, I have given order to fire nukes towards Persia, obliterate them, and leave nothing but dust. I'm like, man, Donald, you really hate Persia. This approach echoes his presidency, during which he withdrew from the 2015 Persia nuclear deal and imposed crippling sanctions aimed at curbing Persia nuclear and military programs. Donald warnings come amid growing concerns over Persia nuclear advancement. According to Harbinger's daily, analysts believe Persia is nearing the finish line. It is in its quest for nuclear equipment, a development that could stabilize the Middle East and beyond. So Persia is so close of achieving to having nuclear. Donald saying time is running out. When you achieve, we're going to drop the big one on you. So this is some serious stuff here. While Donald has expressed a preference for a peaceful resolution over military action, as reported by Harbinger's Daily on March 19, 2025, his rhetoric suggests that time for diplomacy may be running out. The outlet quoted him saying, "We are in a final moment to thwart a nuclear Iran," reflecting fears that Iran's capability could soon reach a point of no return. Experts cited in various news sources have long debated Persia's timeline to nuclear weaponization. While some argue that Persia remains months or years away from a functional bomb, others contend that its circumvent of uranium to near weapons grade levels signals a dangerous acceleration. Now, Donald's statements align with the latter view, amplifying calls for decisive action. Donald comments have sparked a range of reactions. Supporters view his approach as a necessary counter to Iran belligerence, pointing to his track record of applying economic pressure to weaken the regime. Critics, however, caution that such rhetoric could escalate tensions into open conflict, particularly given Iran's history of retaliatory actions such as missile strikes and proxy warfare across the region. The New York Times noted that Donald's renewed focus on Iran coincides with his broader critique of the current administration's foreign policy, which he claims has emboldened adversaries. His mention of final strokes and interesting days ahead, again, those are the very important messages there. Interesting days ahead. This is the final warning. I mean, he's putting out these multiple messages. Has fueled speculation about potentially military or covert operation, though no concrete evidence of such plans has emerged from official channels as of March 19, 2025. You know, all this time he's been saying that Joe is going to start WWE3, but it seems like Donald is the one that is going to see it. And I'm not bashing Donald. I'm not saying he's going to start anything. All I'm saying is that Donald warning to Iran could lead to WWE3. And a situation going on between Ukraine and the bear, Russia, that could lead to WWE3. We're not seeing peace, especially what's going on in Yemen. I mean, things are, man, I got a video coming up. Things are hitting the fan right now in Yemen. I mean, things are not looking good. It's not. Meanwhile, posts on X reflect a polarized public sentiment. Some users echo Donald's alarm, with one writing on the March 19, 2025, as Persia nears the finish line to obtain nuclear. Donald is warning that the world is down to its final moment to intervene. Other question that timing and intent of his statements, viewing them as political posturing rather than actionable policy. As of March 19, 2025, that's today, the situation remains fluid. Donald warnings have thrust Iran back into the spotlight, prompting renewed scrutiny of diplomatic efforts, sanctions, and military preparedness. Whether these final moments lead to a breakthrough deal or a dangerous confrontation remains uncertain. What is clear, however, is that Donald intends to keep the pressure on, leveraging his platform to shape the narrative around one of the most pressing geopolitical challenges of our time. Again, here's the thing, guys. Many of these countries back in Daniel time, Daniel, you guys know, in the book of Daniel, he was taken. Many of God's people were taken to Babylonian captivity, Babylon, which is Iran and all that, under King Nebuchadnezzar. And there was a very important event that took place during Daniel's time. King Nebuchadnezzar had a dream of a huge statue, and he made a statue of himself with a golden head, which he didn't understand the true meaning of the dream. But the dream symbolizes nation rising, nations falling. But in the book of Revelation, these nations, these beasts that King Nebuchadnezzar saw, even Daniel saw in his dream, these beasts will come back. They will rise as one. They will rise again. The bear, the leopard. You have the bear, the leopard. If I'm not mistaken, the eagle, and then the final one is a brutal beast. But a lot of people say it's a dragon, but the Bible says the beast is a brutal beast. Daniel saw it as the ruthless one, which is the Roman Empire. So you got Babylon. You have Greek. You have there was another one, and that's the Roman Empire, and then there's another one too. I totally forget, guys. But again, these powerful nations will rise. For now, the world watches and waits, with Donald words serving as both a call to action and a stark reminder of the stakes involved. As Harbinger's Daily and New York Times continue to track development, the coming days may indeed prove interesting and potentially pivotal for U.S. and Persia relations. Buckle up. Donald is really putting out a message, a very powerful message. He gives Iran another warning. Another warning. Time is almost up. Give me a second here. What do you guys think about this? Leave comments down below. Give me 1 second here, guys. The bottom line of Donald's letter to Persia is this: either give up every component of your nuclear or lose it to a military strike. Oh, and Persia has 2 months to give it up, starting now. You got 2 months. 2 months. This summer is gonna be hot. Metaphorically speaking, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be biblical. Let me see if I can find any more information here, guys. Donald to Persia, 2 months for a deal or else. Nah. Donald sent a letter to Persia Supreme, delivered UAE intermediaries last week, setting a 2-month deadline for a nuclear deal. We have 2 months. The letter warned of consequences if Persia refuses to negotiate. Before sending the message, the White House briefed key U.S. allies, including Holy Land, Saudi Arabia, and UAE. Donald latter stated that the U.S. is in a final moment with Persia, making military action more likely if diplomacy fails. In other words, we have 2 months to prepare. It's very important to stock up. If we go to war with Persia, things are going to hit the fan. Oil prices will skyrocket extreme. So this thing is going to happen in the summer. The Supreme Leader dismissed the letter as a deception, but Persia UN mission left the door open for talks under certain conditions. Meanwhile, Donald has threatened dire consequences over Persia alleged support for the Houthis. Donald to Persia, 2 months for a deal or else. Wow. Donald's giving them 2 months. You got 2 months. You know what Persia's saying? Who in the world you think you are? We've been around for thousands of years. We've seen a lot more wars. You guys only been around for 200-something years. You think you're high and mighty. Again, guys, like I said, I do believe this is a huge Bible prophecy event going on here. This is going to happen. This is going to happen possibly in June. June, possibly the 21st. That's almost the same time frame. So 2 months. That's like June 21st. That's actually my birthday. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But I pray that these nations come together and kind of work things out. But one thing I tell you, Persia is not going to stop their nuclear stuff. They're going to build that thing, whether the sleeping giant likes it or not. Thank you so much for watching. Please share the video. For those of you that want to send us a letter, it's a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $1 a month Patreon. We get to access to our live stream every Monday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.